first of all, let's talk about that man, that laborer. I feel almost like, he's worn out from work, right? He's a little bit worn out. He's a little bit like tired. He's a little bit like, is there more to life? I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is the energy of another person that you're dealing with. And I keep feeling maternal, paternal energy. I'm also feeling a love relationship partner, especially if this person is older than you. Okay. So you could be male or female. If you're dating somebody that's older, I feel like this person, this might represent that person, or it could be somebody that, it's a parental figure in your life. I feel like somebody is a little bit kind of run down. Somebody who's a little bit like their body hurts, their joints hurts. They're feeling like the pangs of aging. Okay, they're feeling their mortality. They're feeling like they might be feeling under the weather. They might be sick. They might just be just feeling under the weather. And what I'm feeling here is we have here the nine of feathers. This isn't the nine of swords. This deals with sleepless nights, not being able to be comfortable in your own skin. Okay, so if you look at it's almost like a hedgehog, okay, with quills and things like that. And if you have like quill sharp things poking out of your body, it's really hard for you to lie down, right? So what I'm getting here is it's somebody who's dealing with like physical ailments or physical symptoms, and is disallowing them to get, restful sleep. They're not able to, they might be grouchy in the morning. They might be grouchy throughout the day. They might not be operating at their best. And what it's really saying here, you want to fix everything, Aries. If they're like in pain, you're like, okay, let's go get a massage. Let's go see a chiropractor. Let's go see a doctor. You want to take care of other people's problems. Okay. You don't like it when people sit there and complain about the things that are going wrong in their lives. You want to, be proactive. You want to be solution oriented, and you want to, offer a word of advice, or even, resolve their issues. And this is something that's really difficult, I feel like, for me to understand growing up, because I'm an air sign and we're kind of clueless when it comes to someone who's dealing with a little bit of discomfort. And I feel like this message hopefully will also resonate with you, because a lot of the times when someone is sharing with us, oh, I have pains in my legs, or like my back is hurting, or like I have migraines. I feel like they're not sharing this information because they want you to solve their problems. They don't want you to get them an aspirin. They don't want you to, get them a wheelchair. They don't want you to give them a massage. They don't want these things. They just want to be in the moment and to kind of like share whatever it is that they're feeling with you. I know it's weird and it might be hard to understand, but they just want you to share in that experience with them. They want you to be there physically, emotionally present to share that experience with them. Okay? And so what that means is, it's not to get them an aspirin. It's not to get them to see a doctor. It's not to, they just want you to listen and empathize and sympathize. It's kind of like that kid, right? Putting in his father's shoes, like putting on boots, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes to understand that they just want to share that moment with you, and whatever their experience is, they want to share that with you, to be in the moment with you. They don't really want anything else. They don't want a solution. They don't want you to take them anywhere. They don't want you to give them anything. Okay? And the Nine of Swords is on top of the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is all about being emotionally open, being, I guess, like responsive to another person's emotional needs. And when you are emotionally responsive, you're not action oriented, okay? You're not like grabbing your jacket and driving them to the doctor. You're not like going to, CVS and getting them, CVS or, it's like a knickknack store where you can get medicine. It's not about that. It's about opening yourself emotionally. And a lot of the times too, I feel like, with a lot of, fire signs, we're naturally very impatient, okay? We don't have the time or even the patience to sit and talk about a topic over and over and over again. We talk about things that matter and we move on from one topic to the next. We don't like to sit there and just dwell on something, especially it can be uncomfortable if it's like of the emotional kind, oh, my back is really hurting today, or, so and so is getting divorced, or so and so is drinking very heavily. Like, we don't really want to dwell on other people's problems. And so I feel like, you might be sitting there very anxious, ready to dash out the door, to fix things, to do something to make the discomfort go away from your end. But I feel like the energy is really asking you to sit with the discomfort, to ask follow-up questions, to really try to understand. And understanding, sympathizing and empathizing are very different things, okay? Someone can tell you that they're not feeling well and you can sympathize. You're just like, oh yeah, when I was sick, I was not feeling well as well. But to empathize is sitting there and share this moment with that person, no matter how uncomfortable it is. I feel like there's somebody who's very, very close to you who might be experiencing physical ailments or symptoms. And they want you to be there for them. You have always been there for them. But I feel like the way that you have shown up might not have been the way that they wanted you to show up and be available to them. Okay? You might have done the practical things, driving them back and forth, going to the doctor, sending them money, sending them medicine. I feel like they just want you to be emotionally open and to be available to them and to not fix their problems, but to really hear them out. And so this King of Cups energy is really about that, putting yourselves in somebody else's shoes. It's like walking a mile in their shoes and really empathizing and really understand what they've been through. Okay, and there isn't a reason for it. It's not about, oh, now I understand what you've been through. Now I can help you. It's not about that. It's just about sharing the experience, okay? And I feel like, words cannot describe whatever they're feeling inside. They just want you to experience that with them by asking follow-up questions, by asking about, what their plans are, by just being in that moment and making that what an air sign or a fire sign like yourself might even say, like, chit chat, in order to make them feel like you're emotionally available. Okay. So I'm going to wave that away because we need to move on. There is another message here for you. You have a lot of messages and I like using this deck actually. So I hope that this works and it delivers messages that are important for you for this month. On the other hand, I do see here, we have your energy, Page of Wands, Page of Acorns. This is the Page of Wands. And, like the image of that little boy, okay? He's very anxious about experiencing things in the world. And he has like, kind of like a testing ground that he's playing in, okay? Kind of like I don't want to say it's a playground. It's like, a place where he's testing things, he's testing theories and drawing conclusions. And right on top of it, we have here, this is a major arcana card. It is the Shaman. What I do feel in is happening here is you have an idea in your head of how things are supposed to transpire, how things are supposed to go, how things are supposed to work out for you, certain things in your life. So, for example, for many of you who might have transitioned into a new job, you're learning things, you're making connections, I feel like through the learning process, you're creating, kind of like a template in your mind as to how things ought to be, how things are going to play out, making predictions even. And where I'm going with this, it's sort of like this is a young child who feels like he knows a lot, right? Who feels like he knows a lot. So, for example, I know how to drive, I know how to get from A to B, I know how to get to work from home, and I know how to get home when I'm at work. I know how to take the subway. I know how to take the metro. I know how to, even if I'm in a different airport, I know how to get my baggage. I know how to get to my terminal. So like practical things, everyday things. Being able to learn these things, being able to do it yourself, and being very, very proud about how you're able to take care of yourself. So I feel for many of you, you have this confidence that you know everything there is to know. But what's crowning this reading here with this shaman card and also with the strength card, both major arcana cards, we have the eagle and then we have the elephant. What I feel here is there's a need to kind of like develop yourself either spiritually or in an emotional way. Okay, spirituality and emotions, they are both represented by water energies. Okay, so like the cups energy, or in this deck, the shells energy, and it's showing up so prevalently in this deck. We have here the King of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Is about you taking yourself away from this physical world that you've already mastered, getting from point A to point B, knowing how to do your job very well. Being able to, excuse me, being able to navigate your environment, okay? Knowing what you need to do, knowing how to cook, knowing how to tie your shoelaces, knowing how to do the physical things that we need to do in order to sustain ourselves. Like you've already mastered that. You're already very good at that. But for the month of January, it is about developing yourself emotionally, thinking about, actions and consequences, thinking about, the words that you might say and what kind of impact it has on another person. Okay. And knowing as well that when it comes to emotional or spiritual strength, we don't have to tell other people everything that we're made of, everything that we're capable of. We don't have to brag. We don't have to boast. We don't have to, pound it in that, oh, I can do this, I can do that. There should be, this intuitive, like quiet strength and demeanor that you exhibit. And it's quiet and it's very understated, but I feel like it's a lot more powerful if it's just dormant rather than if we talk about it. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm not being very articulate here, but I do sense that for this month, it is about being resourceful in a very understated way. And it's almost about like being very quiet, slipping under the radar, and doing things without having, a lot of fanfare, without having to draw attention to yourself. I feel like that's going to bode a lot better for you to getting what you want, to getting yourself even seen and heard, okay? So with these two cards, the energies are very similar. This is like quiet strength, okay? This is emotional strength. This is resilience. This is endurance here. And the endurance card, courage and endurance. The endurance card, the endurance word in this card is jumping out very strongly. So I feel like it's about, exercising the quiet strength to do things regardless of who's watching, to do things behind the scenes and to be very quiet, possibly even being secretive about your plans, to be secretive about, it's like, I feel doing what you feel is right, even if others around you don't agree with you. Even if you're facing a situation where, people don't agree with what you're doing, people are calling you out on the things you're doing, if you don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, you definitely should stick to your guts. And you definitely should, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to defend your stance. It's about quiet dignity and quiet strength. You don't have to defend your stance. You don't have to argue to you're blue in the face, even if the other person won't agree with you. Just sticking to your guns and going about your own path in a very quiet way and endure whatever it is that other people might not agree with. So that's what I feel is the message here. It's there's only one message for your reading, but it's very powerful because I feel like, that man, he's worn out. He's tired. He's got a job that he has to go to every day in order to make ends meet, in order to take care of his family and the people that he loves. And he doesn't do it begrudgingly. I feel like, he's going through the motions. But like when he gets home, when he takes off the boots and takes off the coat, he's a different person and he's anxious to go home. He's anxious to be there for his loved ones, his wife, his kids. So that's what I feel it's all about, enduring, okay? Enduring because there's a lot more at stake. Enduring mainly because the battles that you have to fight. People don't know what you've been through, and people don't need to talk you out of things. You also don't need people to concur or agree with whatever actions you're about to take, okay? So that's what I'm sensing here with these 6 cards. Let me talk about the last 4 cards because it's very wonderful. And there's definitely a new love here. We have the Ace of Cups, this turtle. It's really beautiful. I love this deck. So this is about happiness and abundance, hence the wording. We also have as well the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is about the apex of emotional happiness, stability, joy, getting everything that you want, okay? So we have as well the 5 of Swords. This is an armadillo. What I'm feeling here in this spread, or especially the last 4 cards, is I feel like there's a situation here where somebody is bringing a lot of enlightenment into your life. Okay? I feel like this person might be very different from your usual type, might be very different from the circle that you run around with. Okay? And let me just say this because it's coming back again. I mentioned before, you're a very practically minded person. It's like Aries, it's the first sign of the zodiac. It's all about achievements. It's all about getting things done. It's all about, getting from A to B in the fastest manner, in the fastest route. Okay? You're very good at solving problems. And so what I feel here is you're dealing with someone who is operating from a higher level. They have almost like a bird's eye view of everything that you're doing. You might often consult them. You really value their advice. Okay. And I also feel like this is a person who's very intelligent. Okay. They're either really articulate, they express themselves really well. I feel like they're also embodying energies from this shaman, where they are able to give really good advice. They're very old and wise. Okay, so the perspective that they're bringing in is not from the earth. It's from the spiritual, emotional plane. They're looking at your life, and I feel like there might have been some kind of a a clash between values, between what you want and what they want. The life that you charted for yourself, it's full of financial abundance. I feel like they're looking at life through a simpler lens. They're not bogged down. They're not bogged down with material things, okay? 10 of Cups. This is a bird. Pelican. And the eagle. You know, birds have hollow bones, okay? And they're launching into flight. They cannot fly if they're bogged down with a lot of stuff, with a lot of trinkets, with a lot of earthly possessions, right? So this is somebody who might be very nomadic in the way that they live. They might transition from one place to the next very swiftly. They might not be very rooted wherever they are. They're always looking for the next adventure. They're always looking for the next